Okay, thank y'all so much. I want to thank O&GA for having me out. This is my second time getting a chance to speak to the International Business Mixer, and I just really appreciate the opportunity. I do want to say that he's right. LinkedIn does work. If you have not gotten yourself on LinkedIn and you want to get connected and get some business connections, you must do that right away. I would not have a business if it weren't for LinkedIn. I sing its praises all the time because the reality is it really does work. So build your profile, get on LinkedIn. I'm here. Owen talked about what I do. I have a company, O&GA Admins International. It is a trade organization for administrative and support professionals in the oil and gas industry. So basically, if you are familiar with the oil and gas industry, you may know Society of Petroleum Engineers, you may know AAPG, SEG, IADC. It's very similar to those organizations. In 2013, I was working for Chevron, and I was traveling a lot. I was overseas a lot. And I pretty much missed my younger son's entire junior year, and I said, this is unacceptable. I can't do this anymore. What can I do? And decided that I had enough knowledge in the industry that I wanted to start something that I hadn't seen before. I hadn't seen a lot of focus on support in the industry. A lot of focus on the petroleum engineers, geologists, geophysicists, no real focus on the administrative professionals, the human resources folks, operations. And so I decided to jump. June 22nd, 2013, I'm coming up on my 4th anniversary. And thank you. And I can tell you, I've been a jumper my whole life, though. I'm the one of those people that run full speed off the cliff. I don't know what's going to happen. I just, know God's going to catch me. I'm one of those people. So I did. I ran full speed off the cliff. I could not have predicted what was going to happen in the oil and gas industry just 1 year later, but I lived my life 100% by faith. And I can tell you God's kept me from then until now. Started oil and gas admins with 10 people, December 2013. And this is not bragging, this is to say my testimony for what God will do when you're in alignment with Him. Because before I left, I was like, okay, God, we right here, okay, right? Because I'm putting my 2-week notice in. I need to know we on the same page, okay? I'm doing this. So I did, and I can tell you we are 3,000 members worldwide today. And I'm so thankful to that. But along the way, I started talking to people, because if you jumped and there are people like, what are you doing? You work for Chevron, you make a good salary, why are you leaving? This doesn't make any sense, right? I had people coming to my desk like, Donna, you're losing your mind. This is Chevron, where are you going? And I'm like, well, I talked to God about it. This is happening one way or another. And I did, have some people try to make me stay, and I knew it wasn't time for that. So, long story short, a lot of people started asking me what made you get serious enough to jump? What made you had the courage enough to jump? Like I said, number one, I live my life 100% by faith. I know God's got me all the time. Number two, though, I started thinking about when I'm on my deathbed, what am I going to be saying to myself? I made all this money for Chevron, or what did I really do with my life? How did I impact someone? Did I help someone live their dreams? Did I give someone an opportunity? How did I really impact the world? And I said, I really can't do that at Chevron. I don't see how I can do that. I've done pretty much all I can do there. And in the process, I started thinking, well, I've had enough people asking me what to do, and not everybody's strong enough to just run off the cliff and jump, but you can build a parachute, right? You can build a parachute before you jump. And with that in mind, I started writing a book about that, and I actually had the book published last year called Parachute Building 101. Basically building your foundation for jumping off the cliff instead of just running off the cliff and getting scarred up like I did, but eventually your wings sprout out. So if you're interested in that, please go Amazon, Parachute Building 101. It just teaches you a little bit about having faith, what you should do to think about jumping. And I want to share a little bit of story. I I speak a lot about faith because, like I said, I don't think you can do anything without it. And that doesn't matter to me if you're an atheist. I don't care what your religion is. If you are set on doing something, you have to have faith first. I don't care what you do. And I got started, which is why support professionals are my passion. I started my family very young. I was 20 years old when I had my first child. And I had to stop college for a little bit. So I was working at Walmart. Every day I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm at Walmart. I can't believe I'm here. And I wrote a letter to God, and I put it in Job because it looked like job. And I think at the time I probably thought it was pronounced job, but in my head I was like, okay, if I could put it in Job and you know, God can bless me with something, I know He will. And I was working one day, and a lady came through my line. She was buying clothes for some kids. She said, I really hope they need these clothes. I said, yeah, me too. I really don't believe in welfare if you can work, and I don't. I believe if you can work, you should be working if there are jobs available. So she said, well, you know what? I like your spirit. She gave me her card, and she worked at Enron. I'd never heard of Enron before in my life. I didn't know that Enron existed. I didn't know what it was. So one day she said, when you're looking for a job, call me up. Come and I want to help you. And I did. That was on, I think, called her on a Thursday. By the next Monday, I was on with a temporary agency, and I was working at Enron. Now, I wasn't making very much money, but I'm talking about opportunity, and I'm talking about faith, okay? So when those opportunities open up, and God puts you in positions and put people in your life, then all of a sudden you can see your whole life start to transform. I went from making $6, $7 an hour, and you know, me being naive, I'm thinking I can do the job of an engineer. Yeah, I'll apply for that job too. I didn't know. It didn't really matter to me. I was applying for everything. So over the years, though, having that opportunity, my salary increased, and all of a sudden I know people all over the world, and all of a sudden I have access to things I didn't have access to. Now I have 100% paid tuition. And all of a sudden my kids now have access to things that they didn't have access to. We've got houses and cars and things we never would have had because I did not know that this even existed. I'm from country Crosby out here. I didn't know that this stuff existed. But I'm really big about opportunity, because if you don't give people opportunity, then how can they advance themselves, right? So big on opportunity at O&GA International. Yes, petroleum engineers, geologists, geophysicists are the backbone of the industry, but guess what? Administrative professionals, human resources professionals, operations make more money in oil and gas than you'll make anywhere else. And that means that if you get started in those industries, you have the opportunity to change someone's life. You have the opportunity to go from, now maybe I didn't know that I could move up and travel the world, and now you have those opportunities to do that because you have the money to do it, you have the access to do it. So I push real hard about, let's not forget about support. Support is really important to the industry. So I'm saying all that to say, and I said I was going to be short, so I am. Number one, I believe in living by faith. Number two, I believe in giving opportunity, and I believe in taking opportunity. So when people present something to me, if I think it's going to work, I don't think hard on it, I go for it. And I figure if it didn't work, God will catch me, and then we'll just change that around along the way. Number three, don't forget about the people that support, not just in oil and gas, but just in general. So with all that said, thank you very much for listening to me. I appreciate it. Have a good day.
Amen.